Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech and welcome to a brand new video. Today we are checking out an old meta Titan. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but man, was this thing cool when it was meta. Serperior, a very fun pick in the current meta. A little bit too RPS for my liking after trying it out today, of course. But man, do I wish Serperior was back to its golden days. Let's check out the team and see what I'm talking about. We have Serperior in the lead, Blastoise in the safe swap, and Unova Stunfisk in the back. Serperior, of course, weak to flying, so we kind of have double coverage to those with Blastoise and Stunfisk. There's a lot of ground types in the back at the moment, so safe swapping Stunfisk I do not think would be the ideal solution to our problems here. Regardless though, I did want to talk a little bit more about Serperior. Serperior paces exactly the same from Frenzy Plant and Aerial Ace, and as we know, Aerial Ace is just a horrendous move. I mean, it was bad before, but after this nerf, the energy generation increase is just absolutely dreadful. So unfortunately, Aerial Ace is really only going to be thrown if it's double super effective and Frenzy Plant is neutral, or if Frenzy is double resisted and Aerial Ace is neutral. That's really the only case scenario. So yeah, let's get into these battles and kind of like check out how Serperior performs here. We got in the first lead, we got a Swampert lead, which is honestly an insanely good lead. And as you can see, we did try a different team at first. We were running Gary safe swap, Diggersby in the back, but the team was just a little bit too countered. Gyarados, while it is a very fun Pokemon, if it swaps into a Pokemon that has pretty good pacing, like Shadow Charizard, for example, then we are practically cooked. So I just have to let my Gary go here. I could go for the 2 shields down strategy and see what we could do there, but honestly, I think I have to save this. My opponent pivots out of the Zard matchup and brings back in the Swampert. And I know I'm going to take a super effective Sludge here, but if I can give Serperior any play here, I think I might be in a decent spot. I do have to throw this Frenzy pretty early, unfortunately, which means that Zard can just come in and get a lot of farm, but my opponent makes such a weird play here. They bring in Raikou. I feel like you just always save Raikou for the back anyways, but I mean, if they want to do that, that is totally fine by me. Raikou is going to bank on Aura Sphere there and then swap into their Charizard. I really should have thrown the Scorching here after this Fire Punch, because as you guys are going to see, I do have the back-to-back Fire Punch, but it's still not really going to knock out. So I just capped out of this Fire Punch, and yeah, it's still not going to knock out. Again, these neutral quick attacks, this is what I do like about Diggersby. The neutral quick attacks and the Fire Punches, just to have a little bit of pacing and coverage. Thankfully, we do still get the farm down there, and it looks like Raikou is not going to get to the back-to-back moves it needs. So still a decent win for us, but a little bit scarier than it should have been for sure. All right, now we should be swapping over to our current team, if I'm not mistaken. So we got Blastoise now, but we still don't have Stunfisk. We'll get Stunfisk here in a minute. Tricky lead in the first game, not gonna lie. Empoleon, a little bit polarizing for us, but Frenzy does do more damage than Drill Peck does to us, even though it's only neutral. So I am just going to play the zeros here, see what we can do. We land that, so I'm going to pivot into Blastoise. My opponent throws instantly because they didn't even want to cap tie with the Serperior. And we're able to catch and sneak. The sneak is very good for us because that means we can outpace this Florges and throw on good timing. So if I can land this on debuff damage, I think we're in a good spot. At this point, I don't think a Trailblaze will knock me out, so I'm just going to no-shield here. But my opponent is actually running Moonblast, so they're probably on Chilling Water plus Moonblast. Definitely not great for us. I can't really bring in my Serperior here. I'm just going to get, instantly KO'd. So I'm going to bring in Diggersby, take the Chilling Water, of course shielding it, and I'm going to throw 4 more quick attacks and then my Fire Punch here, just to make sure that I get as much energy as I can in case they no shield, which I'm pretty confident they will do. And it is a Dusknoir in the back. a kind of scary Pokemon to see here. I kind of have to try for a catch, but I have a lot of energy on Serperior too. And as you can see, my opponent here, I don't know why people are so good at this elo, man, but they wait a turn. They wait like 2 turns there to make sure the move is going to land where it has to. And yeah, we snipe with Serperior. Our opponent makes a massive misplay. They actually let us land the Fire Punch there. And at that point, my main win con was to just call a bait. Because if I call the bait, then it's just a 1 game. But my opponent full sends the Dynamic Punch. However, I don't think this game is quite over yet. Remember, they did let that Frenzy Plant through for some reason, and we are able to outpace here, thankfully. So yeah, thanks to landing that Frenzy Plant, we can go for the Fire Punches, we quick attack down the Empoleon, and we actually take that game. Kind of a ridiculous win, not gonna lie, but I will take any win I can get. All right, we get Clodsire in the lead in the next match, and it's honestly not a great matchup at all whatsoever. If we are up on energy, Serperior does have a pretty decent matchup against Clodsire. You still lose pretty hard, but the Frenzy Plants do quite a bit of damage. We do see that the Clodsire reveals they have Sludge Bomb, so it is good that we swapped out of there. But my opponent makes a pretty decent catch onto Feraligatr here. They will be able to throw before us, and I kind of want to either get swap or get some shields down here. I don't want my Blastoise to just die and not do anything for me, right? So I farm up to the back-to-back Hydros. I should be able to roll out down now that they let that go. And I have 2 Hydro Cannons on me. So they bring in the Clodsire, and I know that I'm going to get either a shield or a knockout here with these 2 Hydros. So let's see what my opponent wants to do. They take the first one. They're about to take the second, but they do actually shield this move, which is pretty good. And I have a feeling my Ufisk might be more useful in the back. If I just come here and throw it away, I might be in trouble. So I'm going to bring in Serperior, take this Sludge Bomb, just wait the turn and throw the Frenzy, see what we can do here. And this Frenzy should come pretty close to knocking out. My opponent actually shields here, which is extremely strange for me. So I'm going to bank a little bit of energy, bring in Stunfisk. I know I'm going to have to shield an Earthquake anyways, so might as well shield it here. And it looks like we should be able to get to this Mud Bomb. We actually cap tie there, which isn't great. I was trying to wait a turn, but the animations are a little bit desync. Regardless, we actually get the full knockout there. And in the back, it's Mandibuzz. My opponent played that so weird. Regardless, though, now we are going to check out one of our Auto-Rec games. I have this neat little idea. This isn't really an Auto-Rec team. We're running our legend team from last season, but I did want to try something new out. I want to kind of insert a different game of a different team into the middle of the video, so you guys let me know what you think, and maybe I'll keep doing stuff like this. But regardless, let's check out this team. We are running it against Mish, a very popular streamer in the Pokemon Go space. So if you guys are interested in checking her out, feel free to check her out on Twitch. But yeah, we are running Shadow Caesar in the lead, Shadow Giratina in the safe swap, and Diggersby in the back. This is a team we got to Legend with last season. Unfortunately, Giratina did get kind of a massive rework to with the Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw change. But we see Chargebug in the lead, pretty bad, but we have 2 answers to it. We swap into Giratina. Mish has a Sableye come in, which is extremely terrifying, but thankfully for us, they actually no-shield the Dragon Claw, so we can kind of just shield and farm the Sableye all the way down. My opponent brings in a Torterra, which is still kind of a spooky Pokemon, not gonna lie. We have Fire Punch on Diggersby, but Frenzy Plant would basically destroy us. So I'm going to shield this move here because the Stone Edge would knock us out. And I'm going to be a little bit careful, see if Chargebug comes in. Chargebug does come in, and honestly, Diggersby is an insanely good answer to Chargebug here. So we're just going to instantly pivot, make sure we bank that Night Slash for the end game, because a Caesar down shields and without a move bank is practically a dead Caesar. So we throw this Fire Punch. We know the next one is going to knock out, but I don't want to knock this Chargebug just yet. I know that Torterra could get a lot of energy farming down this Diggersby, and they still have a shield. So I want to make sure that more charge moves are thrown here so I can burn the switch clock. Torterra comes in here and they can mud slap me down, so I'm just going to throw this Fire Punch and pivot. My opponent, though, they actually stay in and they let me knock them out with the Fire Punch, which is actually super, super good for us because now we can force a shield with the Fire Punch and now get the full knockout with the Night Slash here. We're going to be able to take this game. A little bit of a scary comp in the back, not going to lie, but regardless, a very fun match indeed. All right, but now we are back to our regular programming. We got back Serperior with Torterra in the lead. Honestly, a very good lead, but my opponent is staying in. And this kind of just screams that we are very strong in the back. Once again, not very versed with the damage ranges lately, but Frenzy Plant, believe it or not, would do more damage here. So always throw Frenzy, basically. I mean, at this point, you probably don't even need to run Aerial Ace, just run Leaf Tornado or have a single move Serperior. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, definitely throwing Frenzy Plants here. My opponent is throwing moves on alignment and whatnot, so I think I will shield this move just to keep my Serperior around since they're down 2 shields. They bring in Melmetal, and I'm just going to bring in my Hard Answer. I will bank a Frenzy Plant on my Serperior just to be a little bit safe. You never know. Melmetal is really, really bad into Stunfisk here, so I'm not really super worried about what they could do here. I am, however, a little bit worried that they could save this Melmetal. Melmetal is so quick that it could just throw these moves like crazy and kind of burn the switch clock quite a bit. So realistically, I should have Cap-Tied here, but I didn't want to give that Torterra a bunch of farm, right? So I actually just take this move, bank the move on Stunfisk, and then just snipe with Serperior. If Melmetal wants to come back in here, that is totally fine by me. I can still take the knockout, but my opponent makes an insanely weird play. They bring in Carbink. I don't know why they bring in Carbink here. I feel like you always bring in Melmetal. You can still take a Frenzy. You can still take the knockout with a double Iron Bash, but they bring in Carbink, and I didn't know, but this team is triple strong into Carbink. We really do not mind seeing Carbink anywhere into this team. So we're just going to bring in Blastoise. They catch on Melmetal, which again is extremely weird. I feel like your win con is Melmetal at this point. But yeah, we're just going to be able to Hydro this Carbink into oblivion. This might have been a Remix Cup team. Maybe my opponent didn't check that the cup was new or something, because we are in the Open Gray League now. But yeah, GG's to them. Much respect, maybe? Not really. Torterra Carbink Core. All right, we see Caesar in the lead in the next match, and oh my god, I believe in the algorithm. Holy moly, we saw like 1 billion Caesars today, dude. It was the most awful experience ever. We saw every single Caesar in the lead. But I can't blame them. I mean, that's what I like running too. So regardless though, we bring in Blastoise, we throw the Hydro instantly just to make sure that we're burning a shield and either get a knockout or burning the clock as well. My opponent banks a bunch of energy on Caesar, and they bring in Gastrodon. At this point, I can give Serperior quite a bit of play. I threw one move, they threw one move with Caesar, so the switch clocks are severely misaligned here. This Gastro is going to get a Body Slam into us, but we're going to get a full farm down, so that is totally fine by me. Here is the full farm down. We have an Aerial Ace ready for that Caesar if it comes in, which it does. So we're going to throw this move. Remember, Aerial Ace does do more damage if it's neutral against Frenzy being double resisted. Does it do a lot of damage? Absolutely not, but it does do some damage. In the back, we see a Fearow. It is not the rank 1, I don't think, so it's not very cool, but I am just going to bring Blastoise here just to burn that final shield. And then Stunfisk should be able to take this game home. So hopefully we can get this done. Drill Run is going to do an insane amount of damage. I believe Drill Run and Trailblaze should do about the same damage here, so I'm not super worried. I'm going to throw this Discharge immediately. I know this Fear is very close to another move, but thankfully for us, they threw energy into our Serperior, which was kind of weird, so they didn't have the energy they needed. And we are able to take the knockout on both Pokemon before they get to the 2 or 3 moves that they needed. Very, very good. On to the next battle here. We see Pangoro on the lead. Very, very scary Pokemon to see, not gonna lie. Now that we have the terrible pacing on Aerial Ace, it's only worse here. And once again, throwing Aerial Ace here, Frenzy does do more damage. It's kind of just a force of habit at this point. I'm hoping that maybe they fix Aerial Ace, make it a little bit cheaper. It really shouldn't be this much. My opponent full sends the close combat, and then they pivot into Goodra. I don't really have an exact answer to this, so I'm just going to bring in Blastoise here. I'm going to shield the first Thunder Punch and then just full send the Skull Bash. I don't really mind if my opponent shields or no shields at this point. I just want to tank enough moves here that I can give my Blastoise some use. We actually do land the Skull Bash, which is pretty good, but my opponents should be able to outpace us before we get to the Hydro Cannon, or they will get the move on the Cap Tie. So we throw the Hydro, but as you can see, my opponent does Cap Tie us, so I'm just gonna let this go. I feel like Blastoise has done enough work to this Goodra. This Goodra is triple strong to us. We're gonna bring in Stunfisk and barely get the farm down before they get that Aqua Tail. I'm just gonna full send here with my Stunfisk, and Pangoro, they actually no shield here, so I'm gonna stay. My opponent predicts the snipe on Serperior, but since they no shield it there, why would I snipe? You know what I'm saying? So they bring in a Talonflame into a Stunfisk. I should be able to survive this move still and save my shield for the Serperior. They throw the Flame Charge. I do 2 in the move just to guarantee the Discharge knock us out. Remember, Discharge is also a very garbage move, so we kind of have to get as much damage as we can get. But yeah, now we're able to, you know, snipe the Pangoro here with our Serperior and take this game. As difficult as it may have seemed, thankfully we are able to win it. On to the next match here. We got Toedscruel in the lead, which is a very decent matchup for us, but unfortunately Serperior is just so slow that it starts hurting towards the end. However that may sound, I mean, these wraps and the mud slaps, even though they're assisted, it's definitely not as comfortable as a matchup as one may think. We're always going to be shielding the first wrap here just because the second will do more damage. My opponent pivots into a Clodsire, so I bank a little bit of energy and I bring in my Blastoise. Realistically, I should have just instantly pivoted here. There was really no reason to bank some energy, but regardless, I should just be able to bring in my Blastoise here. Because of that weird overfarm that I did on Serperior, now I'm going to have to go down shields if I want to guarantee switch advantage, which I definitely need. I cannot have my Stunfisk into the Toedscruel, so I'm gonna overfarm a little bit here. Toedscruel comes in to try and snipe, so I am gonna shield my Blastoise here. I have a lot of energy on this guy. I'm gonna throw this Hydro Cannon here, which again is definitely a misplay, but let's see what we can do here. We have a lot of energy on Serperior, so I can farm up to the back-to-back. I'll still have energy if they let this go, which they don't. So at this point, I don't really want to Cap Tie this thing or knock them out. I think they win Cap Tie anyways. But if I can get a pretty nice farm down or an energy lead with Blastoise, we might be in a good spot. We get to the back-to-back and they have to Dene in the back. But since we banked that move and Blastoise is 3-3-3 to the Hydro after the first, we are able to outpace to the back-to-back here, fully take down this Dene, which wouldn't have been much of a problem anyways. But now we can come in with our Stunfisk into this Clodsire, knock him out with a Mud Bomb, or maybe a second Mud Bomb. Yeah, we're going to need a second Mud Bomb here. But we should be able to get to the 2 moves we need at this point to knock out both of these Pokemon. It's going to be pretty scary and close endgame, but trust me, thankfully we are able to take it. We should survive 5 more Poison Stings here and beat the Clodsire to the race to the move. And that's going to be a good game. Very, very close game here. Honestly, that Toedscruel put in work into our team, but we were able to manage around it. On to the next battle here. We got Serperior into Wigglytuff. Honestly, not a great lead. We can full send first with the Frenzy Plant here, unless they want to throw on alignment. But I don't really want to take an Icy Wind, right? So my opponent actually shields this move. I'm going to do 1 in swap, and we actually do catch a move here. I'm guessing we are going to catch an Icy Wind here. I don't really see why they would throw another move. So we catch the Icy Wind, and now they're staying in here, and I really don't mind this. If I can burn the clock, I'm totally happy with it. We actually Cap Tie on a Swift, but I'm able to throw the Skull Bash first, so I don't really have to you know, shield this move. Pretty good for us. This Swift is not really going to do much. My opponent brings in Annihilate, and I am just so confused as to why they didn't swap out earlier. They let me put so much work into that Wigglytuff. So they bring in Annihilate, we bring in Stunfisk. After landing that Hydro Cannon, this should be pretty nice into Mud Bomb range. So I'm going to overfarm just a little bit here. Now throw my Mud Bomb. This should knock out at this point. And I'm just a little bit worried of what might be in the back. It could be a Flyer. It could be a Water type. If it was a Water type, I doubt they'd be shielding the stun into the Stunfisk here. But I do kind of want to set up my Serperior with 2 shields. This is the showcase Pokemon, so if I can do some fun stuff with it, I definitely will. My opponent, though, they really did play this as well as they could have. If you guys have noticed already, this team is very, very cringe. It's some cringe RPS trash. And what do you know? It is Bastion in the back. So my opponent, desperate for Elo, running Wigglytuff, Annihilate, Bastion. A very, very popular core last season that was just kind of demolishing everyone who came into it. Unfortunately for us, we will be able to get to this Hydro Cannon, but we just don't have enough HP on our Serperior to actually take this game. Maybe if Aerial Ace wasn't so bad now, we could have reached it and gotten the knockout, but I really doubt it. Very unfortunate for us there. Our last game, we actually lose it, but either way, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little mid section. I do want to actually try to run some auto-rec teams, so if you have any recommendations or funny teams that you want me to run, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. We will not have a video being uploaded on Thursday or Friday because we're saving all of our mental juice for the weekend. This weekend is Go Battle weekend, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, feel free to come by to my Twitch channel. We are going to be streaming from 12 p.m. Mountain Time all the way until we're done with all of our battles. So if you want to come see me practically lose my mind and use a bunch of fun teams, because we're going to be using a different team for every single set, feel free to come by and check out these battles. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support, all the people that have come to the Twitch streams from YouTube, and all the people that like and leave comments. I really, really do appreciate you guys, and I will see you this weekend. Bye bye.